Part 1, the magnetic power of being unavailable. Have you ever noticed? The more available you are, the faster she pulls away. It's not your looks, your car, or how witty you are. It's your boundaries. And in a world full of men who chase and overgive, the rarest and most magnetic man is the one who knows when to hold back. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Let's talk about one of the most powerful and misunderstood attractions in dating. The unavailable advantage. Your time is yours. You don't reply right away. You don't cancel plans because she texts. You don't jump at every call. Because you're cold, but because your life has purpose. When a woman senses you're fulfilled already in motion, she feels your gravity. That tension, that slight uncertainty, draws her in. The message is clear. My time is valuable. My path is sacred. I invite you in. But I don't chase, Seneca said. No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself. Being unavailable feels risky, your mind asks. What if she pulls away? But the Stoic truth is, if your absence makes her drift, she was never anchored. Picture this. A man who drops everything for her isn't seen as devoted, he's seen as empty, because constant availability says I have nothing better going on. But the man who holds his ground, who lets her feel the richness of his world, becomes unforgettable. He doesn't chase love. He becomes the kind of man love chases. So ask yourself, are you living a life she must earn a place in? Or are you offering yourself on demand? Say it with me, I protect my time. Part 2, the no apology rule. Saying no without guilt is one of the most powerful things a man can do. Most men crumble when it's time to set limits. They over-explain, they backpedal, they apologize for their truth. But a grounded man speaks clearly without guilt, without drama, Epictetus said. First say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do. You don't owe the world an apology for choosing yourself. You don't need to justify your boundaries too. Earn her approval. Something doesn't align with your energy or purpose, you simply say, I won't be able to make it, but I hope it goes well. Let's catch up later. Polite, clear, calm, no begging. No excuses, no guilt. And here's the paradox. The less you seek permission to live your truth, the more people respect it. Picture this. She invites you to an event. You're exhausted. You want to rest. Instead of lying or stretching yourself thin, you honor your own rhythm. You say no and mean it. In that moment, you show her you're not afraid of disappointing her. You're not a man who trades authenticity for approval. Seneca said, a man who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary. Most men suffer by anticipating her reaction before she even responds. But the Stoic man speaks once, from truth, and lets the rest fall where it may. Your value isn't in how often you say yes, it's in how confidently you say no. So ask yourself, are you speaking your truth? Or are you softening it so others feel more comfortable? Say it with me. I set boundaries without guilt. Part 3, the respect reflects respect isn't something you demand, it's something you embody.
Out.
Most men think being agreeable earns admiration. But in the eyes of a high-value woman, it signals weakness. Marcus Aurelius said, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Respect starts with how you treat yourself when no one's watching, not through lectures.
Not through emotional reactions.
But by holding steady in your standards. Here's what that looks like. She cancels on you twice. You don't get angry. You don't plead. You simply say, let's make sure next time's a confirmed plan. My time matters too. No guilt. No chasing. Just a mirror of self-worth. Another case. She mocks your values in public. You don't lash out or fight for validation. Later, in private, you calmly say, you're free to speak as you wish. But I don't stay close to people who chip away at me. Just like that, the tone shifts. Not because you imposed fear, but because you modeled self-respect. Seneca reminds us. He who respects himself is safe from others. He wears a coat of mail that none can pierce. Respect isn't a performance. It's a boundary emotion. You show her how to treat you, not with words, but with unwavering calm. When you stop reacting and start reflecting, she notices. And more importantly, so do you. So ask yourself, do you respect yourself enough to walk away from what disrespects? You say it with me. I reflect respect. Part 4. The calm test women test. Not to hurt you, but to see if you break. Sometimes it's a sarcastic comment, a delayed reply, or an emotional curveball. But make no mistakes, he's watching your response. Because when you lose your calm, you lose the frame, Epictetus said. We are not disturbed by events, but by our judgments about them. A Stoic man doesn't react. He breathes. He anchors. He leads. Here's how it plays out. She mentions she still talks to her ex. Most men panic. But the grounded man sips his drink and says, sounds like they didn't know how to hold their space. Then he moves on. No tension, no insecurity, just presence. Another case, she says you're too emotionally reserved. He doesn't defend. He simply says, I'd rather be quiet than say something I don't mean. Calm, honest, centered. This is the calm test. And when you pass it, something shifts. She feels safer, more drawn in, not because you impressed her, but because you didn't lose yourself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Emotional control is not coldness, it's mastery. And in relationships, that's your greatest asset. So ask yourself, do you stay grounded when tested, or do you chase clarity to soothe your fear? Say it with me. I stay calm. Part 5. The authority silence sometimes. The most powerful move is silence. Not the cold shoulder. Not passive aggression. Just calm, steady silence that says, I don't give my energy to noise, Marcus Aurelius said. Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. When you stop reacting to every jab, every test, every outburst, you gain control. Not over her, but over yourself. Here's what it looks like. She mocks you in front of others, expecting the usual smirk. But this time, you say nothing. You simply look at her, calm, unreadable. Then shift the conversation. She'll feel it. Everyone will. Silence becomes your mirror. It reflects what you allowed, what you won't entertain. Another scene, she raises her voice mid-argument. Instead of engaging, you stand still and say, I don't talk when emotions are running the room. Then you walk away. Epictetus taught, if someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. This is the authority silence. You don't argue. You don't defend. You show restraint. Tanned in that, you show strength. Women remember this kind of silence, not because it hurts, but because it's rare. Most men fill the void with apologies, explanations, or overcorrections. You fill it with presence. So ask yourself, do you speak to prove something, or are you silent because you have nothing to prove? Say it with me. I protect peace. Part 6. The Mission First Code. Man without a mission is a leaf in the wind. The grounded man he builds, leads. He honors his path, and no relationship should pull him away from it. Marcus Aurelius said, just that you do the right thing, the rest doesn't matter. Your mission is your anchor, your structure, your purpose. It's not selfish to protect it. It's necessary. Here's the truth. When you shift your schedule, abandon your goals, or bend your identity, just to please her, you don't gain her love. You lose her respect. Your life example. He builds furniture from scratch. It's not just work, it's soul, she says. Why don't you relax more? He replies, this isn't just business. It's who I am. No argument. No apology. Just purpose. Another man runs marathons as ritual, his rhythm. He skips training to chase her spontaneity. Soon, his energy fades. So does the attraction. But when he returns to his mission, everything aligns again. Not because she demanded less, but because he led with more. Seneca reminds us. Let all your efforts be directed to something. Let it keep that end in view. When you put mission, first, you stop negotiating your essence. You become steady, whole. She will either rise to meet you or fall away. Either way, you win, because you remain aligned with who you are. So ask yourself, is your life a path others walk into, or a mirror that reflects who you used to be before you forgot yourself? Say it with me. I lead with purpose. Part 7, the no-fixing rule. You are not her therapist, not her savior, not her emotional janitor. One of the biggest traps strong men fall into is trying to fix her, to solve her chaos, to carry what's not theirs. Marcus Aurelius said, "Be tolerant with others, strict with yourself." When a man overfunctions in a relationship, he loses polarity. He becomes her assistant, not her equal. Example, he buys her a laptop, writes her business plan, soothes every outburst. She doesn't feel grateful, she feels nothing, because he's no longer a challenge, just a crutch. Another man, wiser now, listens calmly. And when she vents, he asks, "Do you want advice or just to be heard?" That one question shifts the energy, because he respects her strength and honors his own limits. Epictetus said, "Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do." Stop fixing. Start witnessing. A Stoic man knows her storm is not his to calm, hers to navigate. You don't rescue, you don't. Absorb, you support when it aligns, but never abandon yourself in the process. And that boundary, that quiet clarity, it draws in women who own their emotions and repels those who weaponize them. So ask yourself, are you steady in presence or drowning in her drama, trying to save her? Say it with me. I hold steady. Part 8. The mystery principle. Predictability kills attraction. Mystery creates desire. Most men overshare. They think full disclosure builds trust, but what it really builds is boredom. Epictetus said, "Practice silence, for in silence, the soul finds discipline." Mystery isn't about playing games. It's about holding depth. It's knowing who you are and revealing it slowly. One man spills everything by the second date. His past, his wounds, his worries. She thanks him, then disappears. Why? There's no chase, no curiosity. Another man speaks with pause. He smiles and says, "That's a long story. Maybe one day." Invites wonder, and in doing so, becomes unforgettable. Because imagination is the engine of attraction. The Stoic doesn't reveal all. He speaks less, but means more. He lets his energy do the talking, Seneca said. The greatest remedy for anger is delay. In this case, the greatest fuel for desire is restraint. You don't answer every question. You don't fill every silence. You let her earn access, slowly, intentionally, and when she senses there's more to discover, she leans in. Because of what you said, but because of what you chose not to. So ask yourself, do you reveal too much too soon? Do you let her explore who you are over time? Say it with me. I protect mystery. Part 9, the touch control. Signal. Touch is energy, not just contact. The way you reach for her says everything about who you are and why you're reaching. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." When your touch is rushed, needy, uncertain, she senses it. When it's grounded, still, intentional, it draws her in. One man leans in too soon. He touches her hair, lingers too long. He doesn't offend, but he disrupts the energy. She withdraws not because of what he did, but why he did it. Another man pauses. She touches his arm playfully. He holds her gaze, smiles slightly, and continues speaking, moved, centered. Later, when the moment is right, he embraces with quiet strength. She stays, not because of pressure, but because of presence. The Stoic doesn't reach for validation. He touches when the moment is earned, not to feel okay, but to reflect what already is. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free of interruptions than your own soul." That includes your impulse. Sometimes, the most powerful touch is no touch at all. Let her feel your stillness before she ever feels your hand. So ask yourself, is your touch a reaction or a reflection of inner calm? Say it with me. I move with intent. Part 10. The look that ends the game. Some boundaries aren't spoken. They're seen. The most powerful one, your gaze? Marcus Aurelius said. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. When your mind is calm, your eyes reflect. Strength. When your heart is still, your presence speaks louder than words. Most men look to impress. You look to measure. You don't flinch. You don't overplay, you hold. One man walks in scanning, seeking validation. Another walks in still, composed, eyes clear. He meets her gaze, nods slightly, and returns to his world. That's the look that ends the game. She tests, you flirts. With the waiter, delays her reply, challenges your opinion. Most men react. You don't. You simply give her the look. I see you. I'm unmoved. I'm still here. In that moment, that silence. It says everything. Epictetus wrote, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Your gaze is that freedom, shows her. You are not for entertainment. You are not her project. You are her mirror. Women don't remember what you said. They remember how they felt in your presence. So ask yourself, do you meet the world with stillness or chase attention with your eyes? Say it with me. I hold the line.